and welcome to my YouTube series, L's and Dubs. And since this is the first episode, maybe I'll explain what I want to do. I want to tap into the 17Lands.com capability of recording every game that you played. And in every mini episodes that I'm going to record from time to time when I find the right games, I'm going to focus on one win and one loss. One win when I managed to turn the game around and basically comment on the gameplay and what was happening in that game. And one loss when it was clearly my fault that I lost the game, and maybe try to figure out why I lost this game and what mistakes were made. Because I think that there's just maybe not enough comment that focuses on the analytical approach to the gameplay, and especially most of those contents are created by people who are way better in playing the game than I am. I want to maybe try to make episodes of mistakes that will be commonly made by people playing. And since it's the first episode, I'm going to first show you how to use the replay feature of the 17 Lands, because not many people use it, I think, and definitely not as many as should be using it. All right, so we are on the main website of 17 Lands. You can go to your personal records. If you're tracking your data, you can click on the personal records. You see all your games, all your drafts. You can see my lovely 6-bullet unsuccessful attempt on qualifying to day 2 of the arena. That was fun. And you can see my last 2 drafts, a decent 5-3s, both of them. But one of them was, I think, a trophy deck that I punted. And one of them was not so strong a deck that I think I managed to pull a game I had no interest in winning and won that game. And we're going to focus on those 2. If you want to see your game results, you have to go to the Details tab on 17 Lands. Click on this one. Here we have my games. You can see I started with 2 losses, and then I had 5 wins on the trot, and then I lost 1 game to be out of contention. And as much as I think in this game mistakes were made, I don't know if I was being capable of winning it anyway. But in this game, I had absolutely no reason losing. So let's look at it. First of all, maybe let's look at the deck. What I had in my deck, I had Baral, Chief of Compliance, that makes your instants and sorceries cheaper to cast 1, and whenever you counter something, you may draw a card if you do discard a card. I had it because I had a couple of counter spells. I had 2 artistic refusals, the convoke counter spells, first of all, and also I had a lot of spells that I could cast, and getting the discount is pretty important. One Kenra Spell Spear, good prowess card, so I wanted to have a lot of instants and sorcery just to fill the Baral and Kenra. There's the Invasion of Mercadia. This is a very good finisher. If you go wide, you play it, you get some cards, those cards fuel you, and then you can discard lands that you draw later in your game and create 1/1 elementals and give +1/+1 and haste to all your creatures, which is important in my deck because I had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Ral's Reinforcements. 2-mana sorcery that makes 2 1/1 blue and red elemental creature tokens. So my plan was clearly going super wide with the 1/1s and then somehow winning the game. Second of all, Volcanic Sprite is just a removal. I have Agar because I have a couple of burn spells, and I thought that I could actually draw some cards with Agar. Lutri, a great card to copy some of my spells. Invasion of Segovia, another way of me going wider. The invasion that makes 2 1/1 Krakens with trample and then flips into a whale that, serpent that untaps things at the end of your end step, and that allows me to cast convoke spells, untap my creature, be able to cast more convoke spells, or attack, untap, still be able to counter something on the opponent's turn. Nahir's Warcrafting, another burn spell. Inga Runais is just a good card. The Dream of Urabrask, because I had, I think, just about enough spells that I could actually flip it in maybe 1 game. But still, it's a good card that discounts my spells and pings opponents, and it's a 4/4 first striker. I think it was, if there is a deck for Urabrask in this format, that would be the one. There's also Stoke the Flames, another burn spell, Temporal Cleansing, convoke spell. Stoke the Flames is also a convoke spell, so we're starting to get into that convoke kind of bracket. 2 Joyful Storm Sculptor, another way of letting me go very, very wide in the games. Ramosian Greatsword, this is the payoff where I can turn all of those 1/1 insignificant creatures into 4/2s with trample, which need to be respected. So that was one of my plans of closing up the games. I just basically could turn it into a 4-something attack, either deal 4 damage or warrant a block, and then move it to a next one so I have a good blocker as well. Then we have our 2 artistic refusal I already mentioned. These were unfortunately my only ways of drawing cards, except for Invasion of Mercadia. That was one aspect of the deck that clearly was missing. I would gladly replace that Ramotian Greatsword for something like draw 2 cards, or maybe even the X-Spell that draws cards. That would be even perfect in this deck. Unfortunately, I didn't see any of those. Shatter the Source, another Convoke spell that lets me kill something. So good with Agar, good with all my 1/1s that will be there. Shivan Branch Burner. Again, I thought maybe I'm slightly low on the finisher front, so that put it in my deck. And also City on Fire. That's a top-end finisher, and as you will see, very easy to cast in my deck. Plus 16 lands, because I thought, okay, actually I have a very low mana curve because all those six mana spells, 7 mana spells, 8 mana spells have Convoke, so I'm not going to cast them for that much. I only had really the Storm Sculptor is the only thing that requires 5 mana. Okay, so we saw the deck. Now we can go to the game in question. Okay, now we can go straight to the replay. So in the replay menu, you have an ability to play it automatically, and you can pause it at any moment, and you can look through your cards, you can zoom to things, you can see all the actions that we're taking in the game. So when it plays, it does step by step, depending on how many actions were taken in each turn. You can see that this scale is non-linear, so there's not much happening in the first 4 turns, then more things and more things are happening as the game progresses. I kept a hand with 3 lands. Now here is Warcrafting, which I can't cast just yet because I missed the second red source. Temporal Cleansing, that will hopefully keep me alive till I can actually start doing things. Artistic Refusal. It doesn't look like a great hand, but I thought with at least 5 spells that can make 2 1/1s, I'm going to be in a decent position to throw those before I am starting to be too far behind. Opponent was on the play. And for the first couple of turns of the game, not much really happened. We played our lands. They played their land. I played my land. I didn't draw much of action. Turn 3, they still didn't do anything, which is like absolutely amazing news for me because I didn't have that fast situation, a fast hand. And then on turn 4, they played the Overgrown Pest, and then they get their land from the Overgrown Pest. They played the fourth land, and that's where the game literally just starts. Turn 4, I still don't do anything. But I'm super lucky that the opponent is not pressuring me too much. I mean, I didn't do anything literally for 4 turns, and they only dropped me to 18, which is like a dream scenario for me. Turn 5, I can finally start doing things, and I play Joyful Storm Sculptor. I get 2 1/1s, and this moment I'm pretty much favored because I generated bodies. I have my counter spells. I have my City on Fire that I can actually cast if I really wanted to. And here is the first big mistake that I made, I think. I drew Rouse Reinforcement, the spell that casts 2 1/1s, puts 2 1/1s into play. What I should have done is I should have copied it with Loot Tree. I was like maybe dreaming, if I draw a second red source, I can then play copied Nahiri's Warcrafting. But that was the pipe dream. I didn't need that, first of all. I could have played Loot Tree and generated 2 extra 1/1s, keeping enough creatures on board that I had enough for Artistic Refusal. And also, it's this moment, because opponent was fully tapped, I should have attacked with Joyful Storm Sculptor, so to deal 2 extra damage, because I had enough of stuff on board still and enough mana open that I can easily keep up stuff for Artistic Refusal. They activated their 5/5 and attacked with it, and here comes the second mistake. I probably should have blocked at that stage. Because I should protect my life total better. There was no need to keeping that 1 extra 1/1. I was thinking that I have enough mana to play the Artistic Refusal and then copy it with Loot Tree to draw the cards at least. But they don't play anything, so I wasted a lot of mana and wasted a lot of life. Next turn, I drew Ramosian Greatsword. I don't think that this is the moment to play it. I bounce the token, tapping 2 of my counters, of my tokens. And I attack. And this attack was a mistake. I shouldn't have attacked now. So I didn't attack when I should have, and I attacked when I shouldn't have. Because now I'm at 13, and I have an iffy block, and I only leave myself with 4 untapped sources and 2 creatures, so I barely have enough for artistic refusal, and this creates a risk that I might, if they kill my creature first, then they can sneak in a spell, and I won't be able to counter it, so I might be forced to counter the removal for a 1/1, which is not like optimal. And also, they are 17. I will kill them with City on Fire. That's my plan, at least, and then they can't do anything about it. They play the land, gain the life, and they play 3/2 double striker with backup. I have to counter that, so I countered it. And I drew a couple of cards, including Rouse Reinforcement and Invasion of Segovia. So this turn, I draw a Kenra Spell Shaper. I cast Rouse Reinforcement, this time with Loot Tree backup, which I should have done earlier. Yeah, I should have done it earlier, and there was no doubt about it. But because I have so many creatures left, I also cast City on Fire. And actually, I still have some creatures left to attack. Opponent jumps my 2/3, and then they go down to 6 to 10 life. And this is the situation when they think, how is this guy going to lose this game? I managed. And multiple punts in a row. First of all, they did have to have something, and they had Atraxas Fall to get rid of my City on Fire. That's the first step. And that's left them still enough mana to play Borborygmus, and Borborygmus managed to still kill the Loot Tree. That's the first thing that they need to do. I draw Shivan Branchburner. And at this moment, if I sat down and thought for a second about the combat dynamics, I know that they can prevent 3 damage with blocks. They are tapped out, so I'm pretty much safe to go. I could count that I have 1. If I cast Shivan Branchburner for mana, which I have 6 of, and I have to tap 1 creature, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. So I can attack for 10. They are at 10. Also, I deal them 1 damage from the Joyful Storm Sculptor. This is the moment when I just should have cast the Branchburner for its mana cost with tapping 1 creature to convoke and swing with everything. I did not, because I didn't do that calculation. That was the mistake number 1. I cast Invasion of Segovia, make 2 more 1/1s. Then I cast Kenra Spell Spear, make 2 more 1/1s. Just create Kenra Spell Spear, and then I tap a bunch of creatures. I don't tap Kenra Spell Spear, which has Summoning Sickness for some reason, and then I attack. But at this stage, my attack is not lethal, and I should have thought about it. If my attack is not lethal, the better option than to attack everything into my opponent would be to attack with the Branchburner into Invasion of Segovia, and then flip it, which gives me 1 extra blocker and 4 extra blockers. So I have 6 extra blockers. I'm impervious to the damage. And I don't know why I didn't do it. I didn't feel like calculating because I was in my bed and I was chilling. And this is the moment when you lose games that you should have won. They do blocks. They go down to 2 on top. And I still think, okay, I'm at 11. They have 8 power. I can block 2 of it. So they need to get rid of my creature, and then they still need to somehow get 3 extra power. But I do. And then take down. Kill my blocker. Okay, so blocker is gone. Now I start to sweat. They need to get 1 power still, so I might survive on 1, I think. But they have another Fearless Cult. They give double strike to Borborygmus. I'm dead. So many ways I could have won that game, but I chose not to because I was not focused enough on the game. And this will happen a lot when you play casual. And I can blame many things, but I can only blame myself for losing that game. And 3 things that if you habit them, if you have a habit of doing them, would stop this outcome from happening is make sure to count how much damage you're dealing to the face in every scenario of the game that you will do. Make sure to think about what is the absolute worst case scenario. And I didn't do neither of those things, and I lost the game that I should have won. And I didn't trophy with the deck that I think should have trophied. It was a sweet deck that was overrunning people. Obviously, after those 2 losses, I got angry at myself, because I do get angry at myself. I came to the draft unfocused. Draft went really smooth because red was wide open. And because of that lack of concentration, I lost the game that I should have completely won. And then created a tricky situation for myself in the draft. That's what I said. Luckily, later I composed myself and I played the games rather tight. From then on, I managed to win 5 next games very easily because I was thinking about every step that I was making. Now let's look at the game that I probably had no business of winning. We can go to the different deck, and it was what? That's not the deck. What? What's going on here? Oh, I'm dumb. I'm in the wrong place. Here we go. Deck. This is my deck. So I have splashed Progenitor Exarch because I basically was low on playables, and I thought, okay, I can splash a bomb. It's a late game card. Because it's a late game card, I can play it of the 2 sources. So I put 1 Plains and 1 Scoured Barrens. And I said, yeah, okay, I might as well play it. I have Oracle's Tragedy, Order of the Mirror, a bunch of Cyber Cryptomancers. None of those cards I'm like super happy playing. It was a bit of a bad draft for me. I went into the blue black, but I just had like the B-listers from there. Skycraft Arias is a good card. Timoret is okay, but a bit heavy on the black. I have Assimilate Essence and Final Flourish as the interaction spells. I also have Vanquish the Weak, Unseal the Metropolis. So a bunch of cheap stuff. That was the important part. That's why I played also Xerx's Strobe Knight, because I could double spell relatively easily in this deck. Preening Champion, that's good. Halo Forger, that's good. Etched Familiar, not so good. But I have a Bloated Processor, which allows me to sacrifice Etched Familiar to make it bigger as well. And here I have a couple of nice things. I have Atris. Inga Runice is also good. Temporal Cleansing. Very disappointing Invasion of Ravnica, because I don't know, every target that my opponent presented me was 2 colors, which was very sad for me. I have Astral Wingspan, which I think with 3 Cyber Cryptomancers was a good plan to play. Actually, in the whole draft, I was dabbling with the idea of playing Crystal Carapaces as my splash, and then hoping to get some kind of like a Boggles strategy. But in the end, I managed to get enough of the blue-black that I didn't have to do the meme stuff. And Halo Charged Scab, which was not really great, but I just needed to put some bodies in the deck. So that's the deck. It's not like absolutely amazing, but it has some potential if you navigate with it well. And the game that I want to see is... Where's the details? There we go, details. The game that I want to see is this one. Here we have the starting hand. I have 3 lands, sorry. Tap land, so I have basically a Tron of my needed mana. That's always good news. And I have some cheap interaction. I have the Assimilate Essence. I have Final Flourish, Oracle of Tragedy to let me survive till the later game, and actually Halo Forager, which is great with the Final Flourish, so I can recast it from my graveyard and kill 2 things using that for actually quite cheap, because with 5 mana I can already have that system online. And let's see what happened. Opponent is on the play. I play my land, whatever, nothing happens. Then on turn 2, nothing happens. Good news for me. Here they flashed in the Moloch, and I said, okay, I'm going to protect my life. I'm going to use the Final Flourish to kill it. I could have maybe used the Assimilate Essence, but I thought, I can use it now and kill it, and Assimilate Essence might be good for like some kind of a later bomb. So I decided to keep the Assimilate Essence. I think it's way better in the late game in this format than it used to be. Here they play the 4-3, which is extremely annoying for me, that 4-3. Because I already can see that this deck is on the battle killing plan, and I can't deal with it very efficiently because I played my removal spell, and it has 4 power, so I can't vanquish the weak. So I already started sensing problems are brewing. Maybe I should have taken the 4 damage from the Moloch and then and then keep the counter for something. So here they just give me 4 damage. I didn't block because I don't need to yet. I played my Inga because alternatives were maybe too small bully. If they play a battle now, and I don't have a double blocker for the slasher, and I'm in the pickle. And if I left myself untapped, that would be very likely this scenario. And also, Inga gives me some kind of scry abilities. Unfortunately, they had removal for it straight away. Here we start with the problems. Invasion of Ergamon, and they still play Rampaging Raptor, a 4/4 haste creature with trample, and basically I don't have a blocker for this thing, so I know the battle is going to be flipped. And at this stage, when they attack me, when they attack the battle that I know is going to be flipped, and attack me with the Rampaging Raptor, and they are getting a 3/4, and most likely getting a battle from the other side of Invasion of Ergamon, because it's going to flip into this Rhino that can allow to discard a card to find a battle in your deck. I'm looking like my hand of Halo Forager, Vanquish the Weak, and the Cyber Cryptomancer. I'm thinking like, it's not going to end well for me, is it? So they flip the battle. Luckily, they didn't get anything in their hand, so that's good. I played the Halo Forager, and I used their Volcanic Spite to kill War-Trained Slasher. And this is the moment when, okay, I'm at 13. It's not optimal. I'm not going to lie here. But maybe I can claw my way back if opponent doesn't have much. So I kill the first thing. They smash. I double block the Raptor. But the opponent has, unfortunately, a way of dealing with it. So they killed my Halo Forager before the damage. So I just lost the Oracle. I lost my Halo Forager, and now I'm looking at empty board. Opponent having 7 power on board that can easily go to 11 power on board, and me being at 9. And I'm thinking like, okay, this is over. But never give up, Ski. I untap. I play a 2/1 flyer. Excellent. Opponent just slams. I vanquish the Rhino, and they still can double pump the Raptor and drop me to 1 life. But at least I survived that. But they decided not to, and I don't know why. But they play post-attack Furnace Host Charger, a creature that has haste. I don't know why they didn't play it before. Maybe they were, I don't know what they are really afraid of. I mean, maybe they were afraid of a counter spell or something. But I survived 5 life, which this would have been basically lethal that I couldn't prevent in any way. But they didn't know what I had. They maybe thought I have a different removal, and they maybe thought I have a counter spell or something. And if they tapped themselves out, that would limit their capabilities of killing. But okay, they play the 5/5. Now, what can I do? First of all, I play Atris and hopefully dig something out of it. I get the Progenitor Exarch because there was not much in the open pile. I took a surprise 1 covered card, and that was it. Okay, stud 5. They play Cosmic Hunger on Atris, and then is the moment when Cyber Cryptomancer pays its weight. So instead of killing my stuff and then basically winning the game, they all of a sudden are facing at a 4/3 creature, and I have a chumper for the 5/5. So I block the Rampager. It will deal me still 1 damage, but I managed to survive. They actually did 3 damage because they had mana to pump the dinosaur. But I'm at 2 life. Obviously, this is annoying because I cannot flip the Skyclave Aerialist. So what can I do now? I play Inga Runais, do a bunch of scrying, and then I return the Furnace Host Charger to their library. They, of course, pick to top it, but it's second from the top. I scried my counter spell so that I have it ready for the Furnace Host Charger. So if we go back a bit, I picked Assimilate Essence on top so that I draw it, and when they will be able to recast the Charger, I'm ready. And I picked the Cyber Cryptomancer because burn spells or removal spells might be very costly for me. Let's continue the play. They drew and played a battle. That's luckily without any attackers. It's not good, but they managed to put the Furnace House Charger in their hand. They just don't have enough mana to cast it right now. They were actually 1 mana short of being able to play it. And now I start swinging. I attack for 5 because I know that next turn they will probably cast that Furnace Host Charger. I'll just counter it. Oh, no problem. Next turn, I still attack because I have to finish this game quickly. I know that they can have haste creatures, but I decided, okay, I'm going to win this game, or they will draw something with haste and just kill me. So I better go fast with my stuff. And I played Progenitor Exarch for 2. Here I looked massively favored. They play a 2/2 that can pump itself. I just swing for 2, bring them down to 8, and play Xeric Strobe Knight. Then they top deck Rampaging Raptor, which is again a problem for me because I'm at 2 and it has trample and it can pump. But luckily at this stage, I can already flip the incubator tokens. At least I can flip one of them. And then I can chomp together with Inga Runais and get rid of them. So that's fine. And I managed to, I had enough mana to turn the other one. And here is the situation when you don't see perfectly how much mana opponent has, but they have 3 mana. I'm playing it 3 mana, 1 card in the hand. And I'm like, all right, what can go wrong here? This is the moment when I am the favored one, not the opponent. So I play a land and I swing with everything. And then seconds from disaster, I win this game. But seconds from when I had almost a heart attack, they have a tandem takedown. And what they decide to do is to kill the invasion of Ergamon rather than my creature. Because if they kill my creature, no problem. I'm just putting hexproof and get on with my life. Unfortunately, they had something to kill their own battle, which I couldn't give hexproof because it's theirs, so they can kill it at will. Now they flip an extra blocker, and they just might have enough blocks that I won't be able to deal the 8 damage. But it will be still complicated for them. It's still going to be quite tricky because I can do some shenanigans with the counters. Okay, let's relive this great moment when I attack with everything, and they had that temporal tandem takedown, which was a great play, by the way, by opponent. It was an absolutely great play, which almost won the game. And for a second there, I thought it did. Now they have to decide how to block. So they have their Rhino. And now let's pause. So what they decided after a long deliberation, I have to say, is that they want as many things that they have to survive the combat. So they block the 2/3/3s with the 5/4 and the 3/4, which is fine. Then they could have blocked potentially 3/2 with the 3/3, but then it died. If that would be the case, if they would have blocked the Iridescent Blade Master on my Inga, that would trade. And then what I would be forced to is to play the Cyber Cryptomancer and pump one of my Phyrexian tokens to be able to trade with Rampaging Raptor. And they would get less damage then, but they would lose more creatures. So they would lose this one, and then the Xeric Strobe Knight and Cyber Cryptomancer would be just enough to block out the the Truga cliffhanger next turn. What they went for instead is to block absolutely max damage that they let absolutely maximum damage that they could, 7, but keep all the creatures alive, and then next turn have an alpha attack. I guess that both of those choices are quite interesting, and they decided to go with this one. Unfortunately for them, I had a Cyber Cryptomancer, which I played, pumped one of my creatures, and that 7 damage turned into 8, and I won the game. But here, we had a very different situation where instead of me punting very badly and losing the game because of that, I actually managed to come out from the situation when I thought there's no way that I can win that game. Arguably, it might have involved the punt from the opponent, but on the other hand, it was a complex game, so no one can be blamed for making them. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed the replay videos, and hopefully I'll make more of them as soon as I collect the games when I'm actually feeling like explaining what happened in them. Until then, bye.